Yeah, I took it both ways. I didn't know how to read it.
Factory owners in Selma, Alabama argue that they're being punished as federal prisoners are stealing their business. American Apparel, which manufactures Army uniforms, has laid off about 130 workers as a result of going head-to-head with contracts with Unicor, a government-run employer of more than 13,000 inmates. Here with me now is American Apparel Executive Vice President of Business Development and Government Affairs, Kurt Wilson. Kurt, thank you for coming on.
Right.
We appreciate your time. And I just want to understand the situation here. So basically, you were making uniforms and selling them to the U.S. government, to the military, right? And you're competing with this other company, Unicor, who's using as their labor base inmates. So they're able to make products a lot cheaper?
Well, no, actually they're not. The Army Combat Uniform in particular, we manufacture the exact same item. And over the last 5 years of that contract, we actually manufactured the item and got paid by the government $5 less for the exact same item. So no, there's a false impression that Unicor is able to provide that product to the taxpayer at a cheaper price.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by that because
paying more.
That was my assumption, since they do have this labor that they're using that's incarcerated and they're paying them, you know, just a few dollars an hour or pennies an hour. I'm not sure. I've seen a couple different quotes of different amounts that they're paying, but if they're using labor that's basically incarcerated, it seems like they would be able to produce a much cheaper product, and in that case, it would make sense that the government is buying it from them. Are you sure that they're really charging more than you are?
Oh, yeah,
absolutely. Over that particular contract, for instance, the average price that was paid back to Unicor was roughly $35. The average price that was paid to American Apparel was $30. You would think that the amount of hourly wage that they're paying the prisoners, that they would turn around and pass that benefit onto the taxpayer. That's not occurring simply because that organization is so inefficient. They're having to pat down the employees as they go on break, pat them down before they come back on break. If there's a scuffle, they have to lock down the prison. God forbid, if there's a weapon discovered, they shut down the prison.
Wait, so I don't understand. If they're not making a bigger margin, if they're not making a bigger profit, then why are they using labor from inside the prison? Why don't they operate their business the same way you do then?
That's a good question, but actually what is occurring is laws that we currently have on the books allows this to occur. So the issue is within the federal acquisition regulation, laws currently state that this can occur, and it is occurring. So that's where we need to focus the attention on the existing law.
Kurt, we got to run because we spent a lot of time on the last interview that we did here, but this is a very interesting story, one that deserves more investigation. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So here is our question of the day. Private contractors can't compete with prisoners earning less than $1 an hour to make goods for the Pentagon and other federal agencies. Is this an unfair advantage, even if it saves taxpayer money, but we're not even sure it does? All right, we want to hear what you think. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Melissa Francis Fox or follow me on Twitter at Melissa A. Francis. Well, if you thought it couldn't get any worse for shares of Facebook, think again. The company's battered.